صلى الله عليه وسلم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وآله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهداه. أما بعد. So we finished a particular set of Athkar to be said after the salam and concluding the prayer. What else? Well, the sunnah is, as everybody knows, to read the mu'awwidhat. What are the mu'awwidhat? They are chapter 112, 113, 114. The last three chapters of the Quran, known as the last three Qul. Why? Because they begin with Qul huwa Allahu ahad, and Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq, and Qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas. So the sunnah is to recite each once after all 5 daily prayers. Oh, can we recite them after voluntary prayers, the sunnah prayers? Nope. Only after the fard. All the adhkar we've mentioned earlier in the previous episodes are to be mentioned after the fard. You don't mention them after Salatul Janazah, the funeral prayer, or the rawatib, the voluntary, highly emphatic recommended prayers, or the witr, etc. These are only for the 5 daily prayers. What else? We also recite Surat or Ayat Al-Kursi. What is Ayat Al-Kursi? Oh, it is verse number 255 of chapter 2, Surat Al-Baqarah. What is the significance of it? It is the best ayah in the entire Quran. The best ayah? Yes, this is what the Prophet ﷺ told us, which indicates that the verses of the Quran vary in their importance. The greatest of them all is Ayatul Kursi. So what's the greatest of all chapters of the Quran? It's chapter number 1, Surah Al-Fatiha. So what is Ayatul Kursi? As you can see,
الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم.
Allah, none has the right to be worshipped but He, the ever-living, the self-sustaining, and the sustainer of all. No slumber can seize Him, nor sleep. To Him belongs whatever is in the heavens and the earth, on earth. Who is He that can intercede with Him except with His permission? And He knows what will happen to His creatures in this world and in the hereafter. Nor shall they encompass anything of His knowledge except that which He wills. His kursi extends over the heavens and the earth, and He feels no fatigue in guarding and preserving them. And He is the Most High, the Most Great. This is known as Ayatul Kursi. What does Kursi means? This is a very important thing, and it's related to Aqidah. Kursi in Arabic can have the meaning of a chair, but we don't refer to the Arabic when we have evidences from the Salaf explaining it. And the best one to explain it is Abdullah ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him and with his father, the cousin of the Prophet ﷺ and the interpreter of the Quran, Turjuman al-Quran. He said that Al-Kursi is the footstool, is a place of the feet, the footstool. It is different totally and totally smaller than the throne of Allah Azza wa Jal. And this is something, unfortunately, people of ignorance may confuse, and they think that the kursi is the throne or al-arsh, which is not at all, as the size compared to the throne is like a ring tossed in the desert. The size of a ring compared to the desert is negligible, and the kursi compared to the arsh, or the footstool, compared to the throne is the same way. What is the benefit of reading this ayah? The Prophet said, ﷺ, whoever maintains reciting Ayat Al-Kursi after each and every one of the 5 fard prayers, nothing would prevent him from entering paradise except death. I want to enter paradise now. Wait, you're not dead. If I continue to recite Ayat Al-Kursi after each fard, if I die, I will be admitted to Jannah. And this is one of the greatest rewards. And unfortunately, a lot of the people, a lot of the youngsters and some of the elders as well, do not know this beautiful ayah. So unfortunate. They don't memorize it. They don't know the benefits of it because their parents failed to do so. Among the things that we should say, and this is to be said after Maghrib and Isha. So it's not part of the Athkar of the prayers. Rather, it is part of the morning and evening Athkar. And if you associate it with Maghrib and Isha, that would be also great. The Prophet used to say, alayhi salatu wassalam,
لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير.
none has the right to be worshipped except Allah alone, without any partner. To Him belongs all sovereignty and praise. He gives life and causes death, and He is over all things omnipotent. He gives life and causes death. Yuhyi wa yumit subhanahu azza wa jal. And He's the one who does not die ever. So saying this is definitely 10 times, that is, saying it 10 times, not once, after or during the Athkar of the morning and the evening, has great significance to us with the grace of Allah Azza wa Jal. And we conclude with the following hadith or dua that the Prophet ﷺ used to say.
اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا.
He used to say, "O Allah, I ask you for knowledge which is beneficial. I cannot learn without Him teaching me. So I'm asking, Allahumma as'aluka ilman nafi'an. I ask you beneficial knowledge, not any knowledge, something that would benefit me. And sustenance, which is good. So I need rizq from Allah Azza wa Jal. And sustenance, provision, is divided into 2 types. Something that we all know about, which is worldly type: health, wealth, power, position, jobs, kids, children and wives, etc., spouses. But there is a specific type of provision that people rarely pay attention to, and that is knowledge, that is guidance, that is the peace and tranquility of the heart when filled with Iman. And finally, we ask Allah Azza wa Jal deeds which are acceptable, because there's so many deeds that Allah Azza wa Jal rejects simply because they're not complying with the Quran and the Sunnah. When you innovate, when you follow other than the Prophet ﷺ, this is rejected no matter how many you do. And we say this as part of the Athkar after Fajr prayer. So it's part of the morning Athkar and not part of the evening Athkar. هذا والله أعلم ونسبة العلم إليه أسلم وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد.
صلى الله على محمد صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله وسلم